Hello, thank you for joining me. This is Rachel White, and today I just want to talk a little bit about faith and emotional intelligence. Now, I want to say, what is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So, translated, faith is a practical action to get yourself to a believable position to receive what you imagine. Anyway, so I believe, before you can, it'll be easier for you to establish emotional intelligence either before or along with, but definitely after you execute your faith if you're a Christian. So, because once you become a Christian, how emotionally mature you are can help speed up your spiritual intelligence, because you'll be able to yield to the power within you that God has placed there, which is His Spirit, the Spirit of the Creator of the universe, So, I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence, because the first step in emotional intelligence will cover your faith to get you at a kickstart on the right path. Because a lot of times we have a lot of baggage, and we have a lot of barriers and walls and strongholds that we have to get through, because your carnal man, your carnal part of yourself, your memory and what you've been taught in this world and everything has built up a stronghold in your mind. So that has to be dealt with. So the first component of emotional intelligence is building self-awareness. And number one, if I had a little kid, if I was a young woman and I had a newborn baby, this is what I would work on with them as they grow. I would focus on their self-awareness, because you need to know who you are, and you also need to be aware of who you are not. So self-awareness is going to put you in a position where you have to evaluate the true you right where you are at the time. Because a lot of people, they want to go out and tell the good news and disciple men and women and teach and preach, but they have failed to uncover their own self-awareness in an area that they don't see. So my thing is, let's explore who you are, and who you are not, honestly and transparently to yourself. And that's going to take faith, because you got to look at things that you don't see, but they're there and they need to be adjusted. So self-awareness, you need to know, what are your beliefs? What do you really, truly believe? I remember a time I didn't think there was really a God. I thought everybody was going to church because they were bored, didn't have anything else to do. Now, I know it has a lot to do with my history, background, some things. But when God did reveal Himself to me, no one could tell me He's not real either now. So I go by what I believe, and I believe in the Bible. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe because of, not because someone told me, but because of my own evidence and my own relationship with God from the time I was aware that I needed a Savior, because no one could really help me but myself. And the only way I could help myself is getting out of 3D and entering into 4D when I need it, because I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. So self-awareness is going to affect you and everyone around you. So that's something you need to work on and teach your children before everything gets out of hand. A lot of times you got to be honest about, do you really believe what you were taught, or are you just going along with the program? And then you deal with that. Because if you know yourself, you're empowered. But when you accept yourself, you're invincible. Because once you accept who you are, good or bad or whatever, that is when what anyone else thinks of you means is reduced. And then you're able to make a decision to take steps to get better and to accept the things you cannot change, and have the courage to change the things that you can, and know the difference between the two by asking God for wisdom. But I want to touch on that also, because faith has a lot to do with your relationship with God. If you really don't believe there's a God, you may say you do because your parents and everybody's saying it and that's what you grew up, but deep down you just floating in the world and you're looking for fun and someone to love you and people to like you, but you don't really know God. But God has a way of revealing himself to you. So I say all that to say, this first step, self-awareness. So you could begin to see your flaws, your shortcomings, your strengths, and your blind spots, you know. But you have to start cultivating self-regulation. Now that's the hard part, because you're gonna need help with that as an adult and a child. But when you give your life to God, when you realize you need him and you give your life to him, he sends you a helper who will abide in you, and he will lead you and guide you, and he will show you things to come. But you have to continue to examine your own self, examine your heart, examine what you're thinking, what you're believing, and you got to be honest with yourself, along with communicating with God through his word, because his word is him. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. It's still the same. But the letter killeth, but the spirit brings life. So you want to get to know him, so he's real, because he is real. The spiritual realm is more real than this physical realm that we're in, because it's going to pass away. And according to everything that's going on in the world and that has happened, it was recorded before it ever happened, because God gave people visions through dreams. So the main thing is self-awareness. So that's all I'm going to say on this topic, and I'll say more. But thank you so much for joining me. This has been Rachel Lee White on Disciples of the Blood of the Lamb Outreach Ministries. Thank you.